All right, let's get things kicked off here. We'll have more people trickle in eventually, but first and foremost, welcome and thank you for joining us today at Skyriver IT's webinar. We'll be walking you through a variety of cybersecurity solutions designed to strengthen your organization's overall security posture. We'll also share some key updates and practical strategies to help you stay safe and well prepared as we close out 2025 on a strong note. And as a token of our appreciation, again, everyone attending today's session, you'll receive a free gift card. It's just our way of saying thanks for being here today. So, a couple noteworthy things. We're going to go over the table of contents. I'll give a brief introduction to our presenters today. We'll go over the Skyriver IT overview. We'll then look at some current states of cybersecurity and then the crux of the presentation, cybersecurity solutions and essential updates, with some time for question and answers at the end via chat. So first and foremost, my name is Richard Lumagui. I'm the business development representative here at Skyriver IT. I have joined with me Aron Quiambao, our client account manager, and of course, our one and only CEO, Rudy Michelon. I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic off to Rudy now to introduce Skyriver IT. Rudy?
All right, thanks for that, Richard. Good morning, everybody. I'll start out with a little background on who we are here. Skyriver IT got its start here in San Diego back around 2011. We've been around for now 14 years and have expanded our presence up into Orange County and into Texas. So we have an office in San Marcos, Texas, and Newport Beach. What we do, we started out as a managed services provider, and then from there, we kind of got into cybersecurity before the pandemic. That was something that we saw coming, and just like we're working on AI right now, we're developing AI agents internally at Skyriver IT, but this is something we'll cover when we get into IT consulting, because these things are kind of different specialties that we've developed as our clients have needed different skill sets. And so we kind of started out with on-premise management. We never really did the hosting thing that a lot of other managed services providers did. We kind of bypassed that whole phase because a lot of the big players, AWS and Microsoft with Azure, we're getting into that space, and we saw a different route. So we have been helping our clients get into the cloud. So cloud solutions has been a big priority for us, and we've been offering cloud ERP solutions since around the time of the pandemic. So this has come in very handy for people looking to leave behind their commercial real estate offices. And so for people that wanted to kind of go to a more mobile workforce, that has prompted us to kind of, facilitate those changes for them and to create new specialties. So yeah, that's what we've been doing. Cloud to include full service cloud services, ERP solutions, and soon to come AI services. Next slide, please. We offer 24/7 live answer support, so you'll be talking directly to engineers when you call us. Most of your issues are answered within 20 minutes. What you come to expect from us is that you'll get regular reporting as to the root cause of a lot of those calls. We have quarterly business meetings, as well as provide you with longer term plans. So we do 3-year strategic roadmaps, annual budgets where we kind of detail out your hardware, software, and services spend on IT. And we try to work with you within your budgets. So we consider ourselves a business-centric IT firm as opposed to just a technology-centric IT firm that just kind of shows up with one toolkit and tries to use that one toolkit for all problems, right? If not everything is a nail, you can't use a hammer for everything. So that's why you got to have different tools in your toolkit. Next slide. As far as our consulting services, we've kind of seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of different ERP solutions. My background personally is that I'm a CPA, and so I've dealt with a lot of ERP implementations and a lot of broken ones when people try to customize systems instead of doing them, the right way. What we encourage people to do is to try to learn new methodologies and implement best practices as they come pre-configured and provide you guidance and training on how to use the system properly, as opposed to maybe breaking the system to make it do things the way you're used to doing them. A lot of people don't like that. They still want the customized solutions. Just be aware that those things break every time they update either the operating systems or other parts of your environment, and that you have to be prepared to constantly be servicing all those customizations. So we don't look at that as a good way to go. We feel like there's a lot of money to be saved if you just learn to adopt best practices and kind of implement solutions out of the box or with off-the-shelf bolt-on solutions to common problems rather than trying to customize software. Next slide. With Skyriver IT, we're a little different than other IT firms out there. So first of all, we're going to be talking to you the way that everybody's going to talk on this presentation today. That's going to be in plain English. We don't drop a lot of technical jargon on you to impress you and make you think that we're smarter than we really are. We pride ourselves in that, and if people can't explain things to you in plain English, they probably don't know what they're talking about. When you call us, most of your issues will get resolved on first time resolution. That's one of our key goals. We set a 95% threshold for that. That's an internal goal, and we are happy to report that we hover in the 90s usually. That means you call us and we get it done. Most issues resolve within 20 minutes. If it's not time sensitive, you can always email us and we will take care of that. And we don't use dispatchers. So you're going to call and talk directly to an engineer. You're not going to be talking to a dispatcher explaining your issues and then having to explain it to the guy that just resets passwords or does basic things, and then have to explain it yet again to somebody in escalations. What we do is we kind of have you talk directly to engineers. We have state-of-the-art tools that allow us to document your entire environment so that when you're talking to an engineer, they can solve it, usually without a handoff. And if there is a handoff required, we'll do a warm handoff, and that will get you in the hands of a senior level engineer that will solve your issue. That's it for me.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that, Rudy. We really appreciate it. Now, let's dive into the current state of cybersecurity. In this section of things, we'll explore the volume of cyber threats we're seeing, take a closer look at ongoing ransomware trends, and examine the financial impact ransomware continues to have on organizations. The number of cyber threats. We're seeing a sharp rise in cyber attacks, and ransomware continues to play a major role. This surge highlights just how important it is for organizations to treat cybersecurity as a top priority. The threat landscape is growing, and ransomware remains one of the most persistent challenges businesses face. Cybersecurity threats are also ever evolving rapidly. They're hitting both organizations and individuals harder than ever. Fraud is no longer limited to financial institutions, and every day, people are becoming prime targets with phishing, social engineering, and identity theft being on the rise. It's a personal risk, and awareness is critical to avoid these types of attacks. And at the same time, data breaches remain a serious and growing concern. Despite years of escalating incidents, we're still seeing major spikes. Like this 34% increase, this indicates that our attackers are becoming even more aggressive. The need for strong, proactive data protection has never been more urgent, and when it comes to ransomware, the numbers are staggering. We look at 88% of companies that have been impacted. Even more concerning is how many were forced to halt operations. It's clear that ransomware is no longer just a cybersecurity issue, it's a direct threat to business continuity. Back in 2024, looking at that, phishing and social engineering attacks were increasing, nearly 42% of organizations experiencing these threats. This significant rise shows how cybercriminals are continually evolving their tactics to exploit human weaknesses. One of the key main challenges we face in today's world is actually the cybersecurity skills gap. It's currently between about 2.8 to 4.8 million jobs, but this gap means that there's a major shortage of skilled professionals to tackle the rising threats, and companies are struggling to find the talent needed to protect their systems. Now let's look at general trends of ransomware. The healthcare sector, as we all know, is becoming a major focus for cyber attacks. In 2024, more than 180 million healthcare records were breached in the US alone, affecting over half the population. This highlights the high value cybercriminals place on healthcare data and underscores the urgent need for stronger cybersecurity measures to safeguard patient information. A powerful example I like to point out is, the serious consequence of cyber attack on Scripps Health. This attack disrupted operations for 4 weeks, impacting everything from electronic health records to imaging systems and telehealth services. It clearly shows that ransomware doesn't just threaten data, it can bring vital services to a halt, especially in critical fields like the healthcare. The financial sector as well. This has constantly been a key target for cyber attacks. Over the past 20 years, one fifth of all reported cyber incidents have involved financial institutions. Due to the sensitive nature of financial data, this sector remains a prime focus for cybercriminals, with breaches leading to serious and wide-ranging consequences. Finally, we look at manufacturing. Manufacturing has become the most targeted sector for cyber attacks, largely due to increased connectivity and transparency of data. For the past 3 years, manufacturing has accounted for a quarter of all cyber attacks. And what's more alarming is that 71% of these attacks involve ransomware, showing how cyber threats are increasingly disrupting global supply chains and production processes. To wrap up this section, we're going to look at the cost of ransomware. So, cybercrime represents a huge financial burden. That's obvious, with the FBI estimating losses exceeding 12.5 billion. This staggering number highlights the vast scale of the issue and how cybercrime impacts businesses, individuals, and governments across the board. When organizations face challenges in hiring skilled cybersecurity professionals, like mentioned earlier, the cost of data breaches rises by roughly 20%, with the average breach now costing around 5.4 million. This highlights how crucial it is to close the cybersecurity talent gap to minimize both financial losses and operational disruptions. Ransomware remains a serious financial threat, as mentioned earlier. Recovery costs can reach up to 2.7 million, and that figure highlights just how deeply ransomware can disrupt day-to-day ops and threaten an organization's long-term financial health. As mentioned earlier, one of the most staggering examples of ransomware attack is on Scripps Health. This ended up costing the organization nearly $113 million. And on top of that, they agreed to a 3.5 million settlement to compensate affected individuals. This case clearly shows how ransomware can lead to massive financial losses, which is also inflicting lasting damage due to an organization's reputation. And then finally, people typically think we pay the ransom out, we're scot free. Well, actually, paying a ransomware rarely leads to full recovery. In fact, only 9% of organizations that choose to pay actually regain all their data. And what's more concerning about this is that these payments often come with hidden risks, things such as embedded malware or dormant threats that can resurface later and cause additional harm. So, with all that being said, I know you're nervous, but we're at the crux of the presentation now where we're going to introduce a slew of cutting edge cybersecurity solutions and key updates that we believe will make a meaningful impact. These tools are designed to strengthen your defenses and support a more proactive, resilient security strategy. Without further ado, I'll hand the mic off to now Aron Quiambao.
Thanks, Richard. Let's go ahead and kick things off first and talk about next generation antivirus, or what we like to call it, next gen AV. Now, traditional antivirus has been around for a long time, but the problem is it relies on known malware signatures. This means it's really good at catching old familiar threats, but it struggles with new unknown attacks. Next gen AV takes a different approach. Instead of just depending on signatures, it uses artificial intelligence, machine learning, and cloud-based intelligence. What this really means is that it can detect and prevent not only the usual threats, but also the zero-day attacks, ransomware, fileless malware, basically the more advanced threats that traditional antivirus often miss. So in short, next-gen AV is built for the threats that we're seeing today and the ones that are coming tomorrow. It's smarter, faster, a little bit more adaptive when it comes to protecting your organization's endpoints. Next slide. Up next is Datto's software patching solution. This is a tool that keeps your endpoint secure and up to date by taking the manual work out of patching. Instead of us chasing down updates, it automatically finds any missing patches across the managed devices and rolls them out during scheduled maintenance windows. That way, downtime is kept to a minimum and disruptions are reduced. One of the biggest perks here is just visibility. Through the Datto RMM dashboard, we can see patch status in real time, quickly catch any failed updates, and make sure every device stays compliant. And really, patching is a huge, strong piece in cybersecurity strategy. Unpatched systems are one of the most easiest targets for attackers. So having a reliable, scalable, and automated way to patch is something that Datto is really focusing on. It just makes the whole process more efficient. Next slide. Also, while we're here, if you guys have any questions about any of these softwares and tools, please don't hesitate to write them in the chat. We do have a Q&A later to talk about these in more detail. But the next one that I'm going to be talking about is Kaseya Office 365 Backup. Now, this is a cloud-to-cloud solution that protects your important Microsoft 365 data, things like email, SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams. A lot of people assume that Microsoft fully backs it up, but in reality, they only provide limited retention and recovery options. This is why dedicated backup solutions like this is such a big deal. With Kaseya, backups are automatically automated and scheduled, and recovery is fast and flexible. Whether it's a single email, a file, an entire mailbox, or data lost due to an incident, ransomware, or simply user error, you can recover it quickly. All of these backups are actually stored securely on a separate cloud, so you're not really just relying on Microsoft alone for protection. At the end of the day, it's about business continuity, compliance, and giving you full control over your 365 environment data in a cloud-first world. Next slide, please. All right. After that, we'll talk a little bit about endpoint detection and response, what we just call EDR. This is a security solution that keeps a consistent eye on your devices, such as laptops, desktops, and servers. It just tries to spot those potential threats. EDR uses threat intelligence and machine learning to detect suspicious behavior in real time. When something is flagged, EDR gives us instant alerts, a clear picture of what's going on, and the ability to isolate that device so the threat can't spread. It's a huge advantage in today's world where cybersecurity attacks are getting more and more sophisticated, especially with AI. To put simply, EDR is a crucial part of the proactive cybersecurity strategy. It helps organizations catch, investigate, and respond to threats quickly and effectively. Next slide, please. And my last slide for this evening is managed detection and response, or what we call MDR. Think of this as kind of like your own cybersecurity service that gives you 24/7 monitoring, threat detection, and incident response handled by a team of security experts. Now with EDR, you get alerts when something suspicious happens. MDR kind of takes that a little bit further. Not only does it alert you, but a team actually investigates the threats, gives you detailed analysis, and can even respond in your behalf. It's really the best of both worlds. Advanced tech like EDR, threat intelligence, and machine learning, combined with that real human expertise to quickly find and stop threats before they actually do a lot of damage. The big one here is you get an enterprise level protection and response without needing to hire someone or managing a huge internal security team. At the end of the day, MDR is a powerful way to strengthen your security and give you peace of mind knowing that there's always someone watching your back and your environment around the clock. With that being said, I'll hand it back over to Richard.
All right. Well, thanks, Aaron, for that. A lot of good information there. Again, folks, as we're going through this presentation, please utilize that chat, ask questions if they come up, but let's address what happens when things go sideways, right? Because inevitably they will, whether it's hardware failure, ransomware, or just human error, protecting your data and recovering quickly is critical. And that's where Kaseya BCR steps in. Backups run automatically in the background. You don't have to worry about a thing. Critical systems are continuously protected without any manual effort. And if an issue does arise, recovery happens fast, within minutes, not hours or days. This means less downtime and keeps your team productive. Your backups are safely stored in the cloud, making them easy to access while providing added security, especially if a local disaster strikes. You have full control and flexibility. You can break up everything. You can back up everything, select files, entire systems, all depending on your needs. And restoring data is quick and hassle-free. On top of that, backups are automatically replicated offsite, giving you that extra layer of security. Ultimately, this isn't just about backing up data. It's about safeguarding your business against costly interruptions. With Kaseya BCDR, you gain peace of mind knowing your ops can bounce back quickly. Let's move on to dark web monitor ID. As we know or may not know, Most cyber attacks these days don't begin with a brute force hack. They actually start with a stolen username and password. In fact, study reveals that 86% of data breaches involve stolen credentials. Sadly, these stolen credentials frequently appear for sale on the dark web, often without organizations realizing until it's too late. This is where Kaseya's dark web monitoring kicks in. It gives you a crucial advantage. It constantly scans dark web marketplaces, forums, and data dumps for any compromised credentials tied to your organization. And if it spots anything suspicious, you get a real time alert so you can act quickly by resetting passwords, securing accounts before harm occurs. And it doesn't just track a handful of accounts, it covers your entire domain, offering comprehensive insight into your exposure. This tool is truly a game changer, and unlike antivirus or MFA solutions that react after an attack has started, Dark Web Monitoring empowers you to prevent breaches before they happen. It's a straightforward process to reduce your risk and give both you and your team greater peace of mind. Now we look to simulated phishing and security awareness training. One of the greatest risks organizations face isn't just their technology, it's their people. In fact, studies shows that around 90% of security breaches are caused by human error. The problem is many companies don't have a strong program to protect that human attack surface. And that's exactly where we utilize Kaseya's Bullfish ID. This makes the difference. This tool combines realistic phishing simulations with continuous security awareness training, helping reduce the risk of cybersecurity incident by up to 70%. You'll have access to a wide variety of pre-built phishing kits, or you can create your own tailored to your industry or latest threats. Again, the simulations mimic real phishing emails closely, giving you an accurate depiction of how your team responds. Plus, you can automate these tests to run a regular or random schedule, keeping your people engaged, vigilant, and on their toes. With detailed targeting, you can even customize campaigns to match your organization's actual email style, making the training more relevant and more effective. Over time, you'll identify who's clicking and pinpoint vulnerabilities, allowing you to deliver targeted follow-up training to strengthen your defenses. Ultimately, this isn't just about the compliance factor. It's about cultivating a security first culture across your entire team. So when it's a real phishing email arrives, your people know how to recognize and how to stop it before damage occurs. Before we jump into this one, last but not least, I want to provide a quick clarification. SaaS, for those of you who may not know, it stands for software as a service. Think of it, these are cloud-based apps your team uses every day, like Microsoft 365. So in today's hybrid work world, securing access to these SaaS applications is more important than ever. Kaseya SaaS Alerts platform comes in handy here because it's designed to unify and strengthen your security across all these cloud services. First, you get instant notifications, meaning you're alerted immediately to any identity and access management events or suspicious activity that may occur. This real-time insight lets you act fast before security threats can escalate. And with the regional lockdown control feature, you can limit access based on geography. This geofencing feature blocks logins from risky or unauthorized locations, adding an essential layer of defense. The SaaS Unified tool, on the other hand, scans and manages your organization's device inventory, making sure only trusted devices can reach your critical resources. This bridges the gap between your cloud apps and the devices your team uses daily. Then finally, last but not least, with SaaS Fortify, this boosts Microsoft 365 security by spotting vulnerabilities and automating security policies across your environment. This helps MSPs quickly apply Microsoft recommended best practices to all their customers. To put this into perspective, in 2024, Kaseya SaaS alerts prevented over 11,400 potential breaches across more than 1,100 partners. That's almost 10 incidents stopped per partner on average. Together, these features offer a powerful unified approach to securing your SaaS applications, ensuring only authorized users on trusted devices get access while keeping your security policies up to date and effective. Without further ado, I'm going to pass the mic off one more time to our CEO, Rudy Michelon.
Okay, thanks for that, Richard. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about vulnerability scanning and virtual penetration testing. So penetration testing is basically when you bring in the good guy hackers, what are called white hat hackers, to basically test your environment and see if they can, get in there and exfiltrate data. and you want the good guys to do it versus the black hat hackers, which are the bad guys. So what the VPN testing services and vulnerability scanning services do for you is they give you a little bit of reassurance that things are working as intended, that you can fulfill your requirements. A lot of times, some of your supply chain will require that you do these types of things when you work with bigger companies, and so having these services provided by your managed services provider always makes it a lot easier experience to implement this and to meet whatever standards of compliance that you're looking for. Since we can get right in there and also tweak your environment to make sure that it is as solid as it needs to be to meet the testing. Vulnerability scanning, identifying any of the vulnerabilities, and then again, penetration testing. Next slide, please. We also offer proactive cybersecurity assessments, again, bringing in tools like the vulnerability scanning. Always helps. That'll give you a quick read on where the vulnerabilities are. But more importantly, just getting kind of the lay of the land as to what you really need to do. And going through some of these cybersecurity assessments, to do business with Skyriver, many of our clients are required to have in place cybersecurity policies. So if you don't have cybersecurity insurance, you'll find out that as part of implementing these policies, you'll have to fill out an application that is very detailed and includes lots of information that you have to represent that you are doing all these things. If you answer incorrectly, that could put in jeopardy your claim. So those are things to keep in mind. We will go through and basically install probes on your network and make sure that we get a good read on your environment and provide you with a meaningful list of things to remedy and tighten up things so that you can have a multi-layered defense, as well as recommending strategies for backup and disaster recovery, because those are also considered best practices for protection for businesses nowadays. Next slide, please. And finally, if none of the other information really sank in on this presentation, I'll leave you with the parting thought that cybersecurity insurance is now becoming more of a reality and a necessity for business because we have been basically in what we would call a cyber war starting back in about 2010. And it's something that is kind of one of these forever wars. A lot of people, don't think of it as a war since it's not a kinetic war and there's not a lot of people dead on the battlefield, but there's a lot of, dollars that are lost and businesses that are lost to these types of events. So, these are very disruptive to economies and, something to keep in mind that if you have a business that you want to be in for the long haul, you need to get some cyber liability insurance because the way we look at it, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So with that said, we will help our clients go through the process of filling out those applications, ensure that you have all the main cybersecurity tools at your disposal to bring down those premiums and hopefully find a good balance between what you're protecting and the value of your ongoing business. So with that said, I'll hand it back to Richard.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Rudy. I'm sure everyone else appreciated that. Really quick before we tie things up here, quickly how to stay connected with us. You guys know our number, name, email address, and website, but we also have a new address. If you haven't been down over here yet, we'd love to have you. Just let us know before anything else, but feel free to pop in. Very inviting. Look forward to have you here. But I'd love to open up the floor now to you guys. is there any questions you guys had? Feel free to throw it in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer and see what we can help you out with.
Yeah, and also I know just looking about who's here. If you guys have any questions, some of these people, I know a lot of you guys here are our clients. So if you have any questions, if there's any of these tools that you feel is best for your company, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm pretty sure you guys all have my contact information. We do bundle this as well. So if you want to have a bundled pricing on these tools, just to make sure that you guys are more secure, let me know and we can see what that looks like.
I'm not seeing too much activity happen in the chat there. But regardless, folks, I'll be sending this recording out to everyone that attended today. And again, like Aaron had mentioned, either contact him or I. If there's any questions you have or any curiosities more in depth, you want to go into a certain tool, reach out to us. We'll be looking out for it as well, just so that we can kind of connect you to the right situations. Is there any last things you want to say, Rudy, before we part ways?
Well, I want to thank everybody that's in attendance today for your presence at this presentation. And again, we're here to serve you, Skyriver IT. We see ourselves as a trusted technology advisor, and hopefully this has been useful to you. You've learned something, and if there are any questions at all, please contact your engineer, contact any one of us, and we'd be glad to help. Have a great day, everybody.
Take care, guys.
Thank you, everyone.